Surrounded by. I am surrounded by.
I'm often surrounded by.
The entire system is surrounded by
Freaking idiots.
Surrounded by them.
Idiots.
All right. Well, first off, I wanted to start this interview. I was telling you ahead of time. I saw you at school night. You went up, you performed, and I was like, yo, who is this nigga? Like, incredible, bro.
Thank you.
So, Lekan, you're here today because I'm a big fan.
Man.
I wanted to know more. And then I found out, you're from the Midwest. So come on. That Midwest love,
It's too connected, bro.
How you doing?
Man, I'm blessed, bro. Thank you for having me, bro.
Oh, hell
Feels
yeah,
good.
hell yeah.
It's fake hot outside, bro. So
Man, it's hot as hell.
but I pulled up in a hoodie, though.
Oh, no, he pulled up in a hoodie, but he pulled up clean. You were in
Hella-
a cherry, what was that, a BMW?
Yeah.
Old school.
Nah, old school Benz type shit.
Old
yeah,
school
nigga.
Benz,
Yeah,
nigga.
bro. Yeah, it was cool. We
Out here looking like money making Mitch and shit.
we ascending, brother. You know what I'm saying? That's the one we
I
on.
feel it, man. So
Height.
you're from Ohio.
Correct.
How did your music journey start? How did you get here?
Man, from the childhood with Reverend, you know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
off rip, started at the church.
Right.
That's the root. Pops was a choir director. I had no choice but to sit and watch him get busy at a certain age. I was just like, oh, it's fine. I want to try this myself.
Right.
Time goes on, you feel me? Always immersed in the music. It was just always everywhere I've been. So eventually my first song that I ever released was in 2015, on SoundCloud or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then ever since then, I was just like, oh, it's possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just kept just chugging away at it until I figured out the industry's out in LA. Before I even got to that point in Ohio, I was just recording myself, putting myself in environments that I feel will cultivate what I feel would be good for me in the future and shit. And then I feel the rest is history.
No, I feel it because we were talking about this already.
Mm-hmm.
It's growing up in a place what part of Ohio?
Columbus.
Columbus, okay.
Yep.
Growing up in, that's where Bow Wow's from.
That is where Bow Wow's from, for sure.
But growing up in Columbus, Ohio, it's there's not that many outlets.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's not a ton of places. So the church, did you start to produce your own stuff, coming out of church or?
Nah, funny enough, especially when I was in Ohio, I had met a homie when I was 11, 12, and we was mad young, just running around a church.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know that he actually was a crazy musician himself.
Gotcha.
So we just didn't know. We was just hanging out with each other and stuff, and just going to stores together and stuff at church, just running out of church, just acting up. By the time we was in high school, for real, I just saw him getting better as time went on, and the same type of time as me. So come 2015 when I dropped that song, it was with him. You feel me? It was it was a jungle cover by Drake. I don't even know if that joint's still in the air anywhere in the world, but he just produced on it a little bit more, added more production to it, and then I wrote a whole new version of Jungle, but used some shit from the junk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then from there, I was just nigga, start making your own beats,
Bro.
And he started making his own beats, and he was getting raw, and that was just always my right hand, still to this day.
That's fire. What's his name?
Ernest E. Sub Rosa Bonsu. You already know what it is, gang. Love you, family.
That's fire,
Yeah,
man.
bro.
So you play any instruments?
Yeah, I do. I play the drums mostly. That's my main instrument. But I play keys a little bit too. Picking up the bass a lot more. I'm low key shocking myself as I go for real.
Bro, you know what's hilarious? The person who lives upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
So this place we were talking about, it's cool, but the problem is the
Noise.
walls are thin as hell, bro.
Damn.
So at right before you got here, around 11:30, 12 o'clock, he just starts playing his bass.
Yeah.
And you just know it's it's
Is
bass
he clean
practice
though?
time. He's getting good.
Okay.
And he plays I'm Not Mad because he be playing old school jams.
All right, cool.
So you be hearing Motown records and he just boom, 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 boom. I'm all right.
All right. If he was trash, I would have been hey,
Yeah.
cut that shit out, G.
The broom and shit.
Yeah, but if he cool, you gotta let him rock. Rome
also,
wasn't built in one day, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, and the bass is one of those, I heard it's easier to pick up than, I know a little guitar, but I tried to learn guitar during the pandemic, and it's like piano. I play piano, but it's a different level of dedication. You gotta really sit with it, to really get proficient enough,
Yeah, I'm cool. I ain't gonna lie. I was super straight on the guitar. My finger, I used to get really mad with my finger and stuff on it. And then I said, he'll be playing the guitar and he so cold. I just be
hey, play this.
You got it.
Yeah,
Like
play this
that's
real
serious. I have no issue like giving people the credit that I ain't. You know, just source out the niggas. You know, go from there. But outside of that, like bass, I've been picking that up. I played upright bass in middle school and orchestra. So yeah, so like I did the whole orchestra shit, like violin, viola, all of that, and then towards the tail end, I picked up the upright, and it just made a lot of sense. So then once you moved it over to the side, I was just like,
gotcha.
You
Okay,
know?
so you already had the finger in.
yeah,
some way.
no, I had an idea, so like it was easy to pick up, and now I'm just kind of like, anytime I see a bass, I just fuck around and I play a song on my phone. I just play along with it, and I just catch myself getting nice.
Isn't that the best feeling though? I feel like people who don't play instruments don't know, like, to be able to just play along to something and just hear what you want to hear on top of it. Like,
I don't know.
it takes years to be able to do it, but when you can, it's game changing.
I don't know, bro. Music is just like one of them universal things, bro. Next to like food, I feel like it's just undeniable. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, facts.
good food is good. Like, you know, anybody of any culture, any race gonna rock with it. Good music, anybody of any culture gonna rock with it. Shoot, good art of any kind, like you shoot the art of being an artiste, like an actor. You feel me? Like to be able to like relay a message. That's so much like. You gotta give it up. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
so it's different, bro. So.
No, I appreciate that too. It's funny though, because I feel like with music, which also going back to you, what drew me to your stuff is just even to what you said in a time where there's a whole lot of music that's like, you know, it's for now and it's not long lasting. It's cool and refreshing when you can hear something that's like, oh no, like I'd listen to this in any era.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or I can finding artists too, like, you know, even the kind of artist that you are or you're building to is like, you're not a here today, gone tomorrow type guy. Like, oh man, remember he had that one record just went viral and that was it. Like, no, like your fan base can grow with you. You know what I mean? Your music can get more and more mature as you do. You know, there's so many places to go with it.
No, for sure. That's probably my biggest goal is to be like timeless.
Yeah.
Like I want like music to really actually like transcend the test of time. And also just like, bro, we grew up on a space where there was older music that we like super rocked with, you know, and we could still bump to this day. I want to be that for like that, not my generation above me, but also the younger ones. I have a lot of babies in my life right now. So like, I want to be the one to like, yeah, like Uncle Lekan got the song, you know what I mean? Like he got not even song record, you know what I'm saying? That's how you know it's time. It's like when the little ones call it a record, like, and that's something that I unintentionally aspire for. I just feel like we come from that cloth, so like it's going to snitch on itself when we put it in the art. Yeah,
I mean, being in this era of growing up in a half analog, half digital world, you know what I mean? Opposed to like the kids now are straight digital. You know, straight digital. Like at least coming up in that different space, we still had you know, you remember what it's like to stop and watch something on TV.
Yeah.
Is this the time it come on?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or not being able to, like, think how many dope things you probably did when you were young, but it was like, oh, I didn't just take a picture of it. Like, but that memory still just is valid.
I don't know. It's a balance. Like I rock with how accessible things are at this present moment, because it's like we could sit here and be like, "Damn, what's that one song that we used to listen to all the time?" Pull up our phones, and we listening to it, as opposed to like finding a CD, doing all that other stuff back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But think about this, just to flip it on you.
Yeah.
Think of how different it was when you was like, "Damn, what was that song?" And you're like, "Man, I don't know." And then you had to be like, "Damn." Go to a phone, call another friend who you might not have talked to today. Bro, remember we were at blah, 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 and that song came on, and Cindy was dancing, and it was lit. Oh yeah, but the one thing I would say, and I agree, it's way better to be able to just Google shit. So you ain't gotta do all that. But I feel like it does break down that web of connecting to an extent. Because, you know, if you just think about when you wanted information back in the day, you went to whether, and this is good and bad, but you went to the wisest person you knew, or you knew, I know he knows about this. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So don't get me wrong, a lot of those guys give a lot of shitty information. Yeah. But at the same time, it created that, you know, getting on a bus and talking to the person next to you.
That human interaction is just necessary. Like, I feel, you're right. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Part of me was just like, I'm not trying to go through all this.
I'm not trying to talk to all these
I ain't gonna
niggas.
lie, but at the same time, it's just like that's how something beautiful can be birthed. Right. Like just through those random connections and stuff. Like that's.
It wasn't about making music. It was about having fun at church and going to the store, and then that led to what? See what I mean? Opposed to.
Let's just come in the stew, bro.
Yeah. Oh, let's link, bro.
Let's link. We gotta work. Oh man, I can't stand these. We gotta work ass things. So, yeah, bro, it's getting out of hand. G.
Oh yeah. Well, welcome to Los Angeles.
Oh yeah, I rock with it because it's like if we gonna work, we gonna work. But sometimes it's like, can we kick it? Can we at least? Can I see if I even rock with you first?
Who am I working with?
Type, yeah. And it's just like, you know, granted, if we got a job and an obligation to fulfill, like we gonna get it done. But like, and we gonna rock with, see if we rock with each other in the process. But like, for the most part, if I'm like wanting to get to know somebody and like out here, or even just working with them, because it's like to work with somebody's relationship, or even just art, bro. To create with somebody is like my producer out here who I worked with when I came out here. His name is Bongo, by the way. Like
legend.
We kicked it for weeks before we even walked into the studio together for the first time. It was like the first time I ever kicked it with him. Kicked it with him. Yeah. We just sat for hours listening to music, chopping it up about music, like really even just building that camaraderie. Next day, let's go to the gym. Next day, bro, you want to, I don't know, do something. Don't tell me. He's calling me right now.
Oh, good.
That's crazy. I knew I seen this nigga. Where else?
All right, we're back. No, that was hilarious. So wait, you saw Barbershop?
Yeah, bro. My manager was just like, yo, this nigga was in The Wire. I'm like, he was in somewhere else, G. I swear. I had to do some research, found out. I was like, it was you. And what was that barbershop experience like?
Bro, it was crazy, bro. I was there. That was one of those, like, so my parents put me like in the industry when I was really young. And so they were super supportive, you know, like, bro, that barbershop job was one of those situations where we sat on set all day, like waiting just to get that one scene. They didn't know if they were going to shoot it. They didn't know but my dad was like, no,
what was the scene again, bro?
I walk in, I bring Eve her apple juice. And then I even made up that line.
For real?
Yeah. It was like a line like me and my dad made up. You're welcome, my beautiful black sister.
Nigga.
And then,
This nigga is a part of the legendary apple juice show. Like, but that's culture, bro.
No, thank you, bro. But yeah, man, it's doing that was crazy. And I had already started so young at like 3-4 years old. My parents had me like going into it. So like after that, it kind of just like, you know, it was the mission. It was the mission, and so I kept it.
Did you feel pressure like at an early age, like to like execute, like when your parents kind of put you in that space?
To an extent you do, but also it's like, man, it's the rehearsals. You do the rehearsals, you do the work. They made sure that all that work was done ahead of time so that when you out there, yeah, it's just like teaching your kid, right? It's like, oh no, I know when the time comes, they're gonna be straight. Like, you know, I don't have to worry about them on a day-to-day because we do the training at home. And it was cool because like my dad always came from my dad and my mom. It was for me. You know what I mean? It wasn't for them. It wasn't them trying to like, oh, get a bag. Our son's cute. Let's try to like, it was like, let's set him up with something that he can do that's, you know, outside of, you know, being south side of Chicago, right?
You got siblings?
I got a brother. I got a brother, and he just turned 40 and he just became a father.
Oh, wow.
So shout out to him.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to him.
Okay, so he older. So
older brother.
Okay, so you was okay, but
yeah.
That makes sense. I'm just trying to piece it together. All right, so have supportive family, supportive parents to support you through your art at a very early age, and then you had a brother who had to watch that.
And very good drummer as well.
Tight.
Fantastic drummer.
So he was already immersed in the music.
And there's videos of us, literally me as a baby, and I'm sitting there with Barney flip-flop or like house shoes on, and I'm like banging on a piano, and he's in the back banging on the drums. We're both awful, but the point is like it was there and it was started. Yeah, and like, you know, they always made sure we were in music programs, and I made sure we were always like, it's that support, man. You can't beat it, you know.
It's funny. Nigerian parents are a little different when it comes to they gonna
school.
It's very school, and it's like support in different ways. Like the art was already there, right, but it's just like how bad do you want it? Show us. You feel me? Like we didn't. I ain't never like my parents wasn't finna take me to no child. Like I ain't gonna lie. My mama took me to American Idol and America's Got Talent. You feel me? When I was like middle school and high school. So like, I definitely had support. I came from a supportive back. I came from a loving household. You feel me? But like when it came down to like post high school, college, and it's just like I'm recording, like I had to show them that I was serious about it for them to even believe in it. Because from there, right, it's like, all right, you're getting older. You need to set yourself up in the foundation for as far as like what it is. And to them, security is everything. And so like school is the biggest thing as far as security. School and like working. You feel me? So like outside of that, come 2016, 2017, I'm in college and I'm just like working in college at the same time. And I'm just like, just funding my studio time and paying for my own videos and stuff. And so they started to see like, oh, he's really taking this like for real. Yeah. 'Cause as far as singing, I've been singing for like, I've always been that little singer since I was like a kid, you feel me? And it just kept going as time evolved, but it's not like they were like, go to the studio or like.
Yeah, you're right.
Nah, there was none of that. Actually, it was just, I don't know, the initiation we had to like have within ourselves. So like.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you also got to think too. Cause are you first generation?
Correct.
No, man. So especially that, it's like the funny thing about school is, as we know now, it's every day becoming less and less of a guaranteed thing, less and less. But that's like the only guaranteed. If you're just outside looking in, you're like, look, this is the only cheat code. If you do well here, we've been told you get this piece of paper that says you can do this, and then you beat out a lot of other people in line. So it's like, I get the logic of it, but at the same time, I think it's all about how serious that other individual is. Because I mean, it's like a 9 to 5. Yeah, like working a 9 to 5. There's nothing against that. Like respect to everybody who does it. But that's a different kind of person who goes, okay, I know that I'm consistent. I can show up here and I can do this work. Opposed to somebody who's like me. I go, I can't show up and do that work. I got to create something and I got to go over here, but I'm going to show up with that same 9 to 5 spirit, that same 9 to 5 mentality, because it's just because it's creative work doesn't mean it doesn't have to be done in a timely fashion. It doesn't have to be done. You know what I mean? It still has to run like a business. Even though
it's work nonetheless. And I would just say like, I got that example from them. Like work was just never like, that was a non-negotiable, bro. I mean, in order for them to like come from Nigeria to here, it was just like pure work, faith, but faith without work is void type. So it's just like 100%. For sure, like that energy that I feel like even in the spaces where I be having to check myself now, like I can't do it, and it's just like nigga, they was making it make sense with with a little like way lesser, you know what I'm saying?
And doing shit they really don't want to do.
For real.
Like,
for the sake of
from
it.
my dad, like my parents, like some of the jobs my dad has told me he's had when he was trying to figure it out. And I'm like, oh, and I complain about like, I got to get up and go do this voiceover. Like, I love what I do.
I get to do it, bro. Yeah. Like, so I be. That's probably the biggest thing Cali's been, bro, checking myself in those type of spaces and like moving with type of gratitude. Like, if it's trash, it's trash, and if I'm not going, I'm not going. But like, I just know like there's times within myself where it's just like it could be a way worse situation for sure.
100%. To go back to what we were talking about prior, but you were saying how even when you first started working with Bongo, you guys just like spent a lot of time together. He really got to know you.
Yeah, it was important. It was really interesting to like, in hindsight, looking back at it, like that was just as necessary. Just like the first time we kicked it, we spent hours together just listening to music, chopping it up about music, and then from there it was like, let's go to the gym, or like let's go do some human shit to like, you know, build camaraderie, but also understand like, I don't know, just build chemistry essentially for and you don't really understand how important that is until you start creating with that person. Right. And like the very first song we ever did together was Familiar, which was like, you know, crazy. I feel like that just speaks for itself. And it goes back to what I was saying to you as far as like, unintentional goal of like making timeless music. I feel like those are variables that play into it when you have community and communion with certain people that you're creating with. It's like it snitches on itself in the records for real. And then as time goes on, it's just gonna be like, bro, this shit is still hits. Like
100%.
That's the music we grew up on.
Bro, and I think it's also when you're going in and you're working with somebody in a creative space. You know, it's like it's that vulnerability too. Like understanding like what things to say, not to say. Who is this person? What pisses them off? Maybe you want to piss them off for a certain take. Maybe you want to bring it back.
For sure.
First time I ever saw that, like firsthand, and I was fortunate, like when I was in Atlanta, back when I was signed, was that era when they were doing the Confessions album. And I remember Usher just, at some point, he started coming around. Then he was around all the time. They go out, come back, have conversations. They hoop. Same, you know what I mean? Same idea. Like just building on what's going on. And then next thing you know, you hear all this in all these records, and you hear all this because it's seamless at that point.
It's solid. Like, it's just, I don't know, bro. It's a universal language, bro. Like, and it'll transcend barriers, bro. But like when you're creating it, I think there's a level of care. It's interesting enough because like when him and I work, we do this thing called like We Care Records. Like we just, all right, now it's time to care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like put a little care into it, like put a little that into it. And I feel like humbly, like it was a lot of that missing in the ecosystem. From my perspective, I always knew that I could put my interpretation into it. But it just, I just knew I need to surround myself and be in the environment for that to even be a strong possibility. But like for me, it was just like my job within myself is to make sure that I put that my print into the ecosystem of like caring, as far as like whether it be like the texture of my voice in this specific part or in its like my background arrangements and how I kind of want it to be either still or have some type of movement there, or just like carry me as I'm like leading the song with my main melody, you feel me? Or even just something on the production side of something that's minimal, or shit, turn it up right quick, you feel me? Like it's intentionality when it comes out of there. Just
I was literally, as you were saying that, I was like, it's intention.
Yeah.
They care for that intention. And I mean, I think when people do that, it raises the bar. I was thinking about this, like, you know, we could say that the bar is sometimes set pretty low for a lot of music, and people aren't really trying to go above and beyond. But I think the other issue is we're all chasing, you know, everybody's chasing success, right, to an extent. So everybody's chasing whatever's quote unquote working. But if everybody's not shooting that high, it creates, you know what I mean? It creates, like, when there's good music coming out, and I'm sure you feel this way, we're all inspired.
That's fuck.
All inspired. You see that and you're like, oh, man, I need a record like that. That's cold. How could I do that? But
it's in today's time, again, like, I think it's possible. I think it's possible for us to make that, like, for that to be like the norm. But like, again, as far as like what I can do, I feel like I want niggas to approach it a little different after they hear me.
Right.
For a fact. Like, I definitely want, like, damn, I didn't think to do some shit like that. And it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, cool. Cause that's how I've be. Like, I was just listening to a podcast and they were just talking about the Soulquarians, and that inspired me in a different way to, like, want to go about something a little differently as far as, like, how they were going about it.
Who was it? The
Soulquarians.
Who's that?
That's like Jay Dilla, Questlove, and D'Angelo, and you feel me, like Erykah Badu, all of them in that space and time. But they were super, like, they challenged themselves a lot. Like, they pushed themselves a lot and even put themselves into that space. Like, when they were working on what album, Voodoo? When they were working on Voodoo or something like that, like, they really like slept in the studio together. They really would jam, but they would just push themselves, and they did it. And I believe was that Electro Lady Studios with Jimi Hendrix Studios. Like,
that's fire.
Just that energy, bro. Like, it's a lot of that comes into a surreal spiritual practice. But like, bro, you know, iron sharpens iron. You wanna be pushed on that type of time for real. So like, something great's gonna come out of it, bro.
100%. And you're standing next to people who also are just at the top of their game.
Nigga, tighten up. It's gonna make you tighten up. Usually you gotta tighten up, you got left, bro. And that's the reality.
Niggas get left.
Hey, and that's cool too. You know what I'm saying? With all humility, that's cool too.
Maybe your race is coming up a little bit later.
You know,
I'm headed this way right now,
and that's what I would say is like the negatives of everything being so accessible now is because like they'll just compare their race to someone else's, and it's just like you could just use what you see and be inspired as opposed to feeling like inadequate. Which I mean, we out here, we in LA. This place is huge for making a nigga feel like they ain't got enough of what they ain't got enough. But like the reality is, bro, it's just like God's timing, bro. It's a real thing. If you be like, I'm a strong believer, bro. And like, if you just keep being a good steward of the gift, bro, like, and trusting and just being faithful to the gift, being faithful to the grind, to the craft, like, it's bound to be like he's going to bless it.
And that's literally what I think so many people don't get. It's the you'll sit on Instagram, you'll compare yourself. Oh man, this is crazy. This guy has a Lamborghini. I want a Lamborghini. My life sucks. Whatever. But like, what are you doing every day to go get this Lamborghini? You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing every day to whatever this image in your head of what you're supposed to have, of the life you want? What are you doing to go get it? Are you really? Do you know, and can you sit there and tell yourself, I know 100% I'm doing all the work I possibly can to get where I want to go? Most people can't.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like even myself at times I go like, come on, man, you got to kick it up. Kick it up.
Shit.
Yeah,
it
but
happens, bro. Like you just got to pick, you know, when you peep yourself on that type of time, it's just like, all right, if you really want it, just checks and balances. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
This is what it comes with, bro. It's just like you have to pay this due to be able to get that. It's again, bro. It's balance. Like everybody goes through like peaks and valleys is really what I've been calling it recently a lot. But like it happens, bro. I would just say like just be gentle with yourself in the process because some people deal with it a little harder. Some people have different methods. Some people like beating themselves up. Some people bullying works on some niggas. Sometimes some people just shut down. You feel me? Some people
That's
like
very true.
they gotta be gentle with themselves in the process to be able to will them to do that. Or they might have certain people in their lives that help will them, support them. Like one of the biggest things for me, like I just went back home for the first time in like a long time, and it kind of messed me up a little bit because I was like low key questioning a lot, and then I called a friend and he was just like, my nigga, remember your why. Like, why are you even doing this? I watched you before I came out here really like lock in to myself and what I believe God was showing me and like turn into a madman, bro. I cut off everybody for months, bro. Like just hella affirmation, just talk to myself a certain type of way and just made sure I woke up at a certain time every day, made sure I meditated, made sure I went to be in nature every day. Like just certain stuff that I knew I needed within myself.
100%.
Everybody different though.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's a growth though. Even how you said like you work out, you do like all these things are like very important into having a structured and like a healthy mind. You know, like that's one thing I think it's lost in music a lot, and I'm sure you know, structure is not the name of the game for musicians. Yeah, exactly. It's it's sessions any time of night, but keeping some form of regular, like how you even said, I wake up at a certain time, no matter what. I make sure XYZ gets done, no matter what. It's healthy.
Nah, brother, I fall short. I'm gonna keep it a full stack. God still got a lot of work to do.
Hey, you're trying.
And
you're trying.
I don't even like saying trying. I'm still doing.
You're doing.
You feel me? Like I'm trying I feel like the sun don't try to shine, the grass don't try to be green.
Facts.
I'm not gonna try to be great. I'm gonna be great or I'm not gonna be great.
Exactly.
I'm gonna do what needs to be done to you know what I'm saying? Just do. That was one of the biggest things before I took that leap of faith, which is like my language, bro. And how you spoke to yourself. It's just huge, bro. Like I really it really is like a real large determining factor as far as how you deal with yourself, how you speak to yourself, bro. Like you're not trying to do anything.
Right.
You're gonna do it. Or you're not.
Right. Damn. That's a very good way to look at it. Because then it takes all the bullshit out of it.
Let's get to the meat and potatoes.
Let's get to either I'm going to do this or I'm not.
Let's get to the meat and potatoes. One of my homegirls would always say, let's just get straight to it. Like,
no. Because that's what I tell people too. I'm like, if you're not really doing all the pieces you need to do to get where you want to go, you really don't want to get there. You feel like it might be nice, but you don't.
And I'm gonna say this to you because you know what I'm talking about. Where we come from, bro.
Mhm.
It's not that easy, bro.
No.
It's not that easy. That Midwest, like, it could be dark.
Very
You know what I'm
much.
saying?
I mean, the weather alone is a terrible contributing factor, and then mixed with some of the people and the negativity.
Brother, I'm gonna tell you what it was for me, bro. I was shoveling the snow for my mom one day, bro. And the shovel snapped in half when I was shoveling. It literally snapped in half, and I just looked at that shit, bro. My mom's standing right next to me. I don't cuss next to my mom. I'm hella respectful. I'm just like, this is my last fucking winter. And she was just like, it's okay. It's okay, baby. I'm like, nah, mommy. This is my last fucking winter, bro.
This is it.
I'm done. That was my last winter, bro.
You didn't try. You did it.
I was dead serious, bro. And everything was pointed against it. And that's why I'm saying for us, and it's not just us, there's everywhere in the world, but like in particular our experience, because we're both from the Midwest, Chicago and Ohio, it's like it can be a lot of things can like sway you. A lot of real life might always be like one paycheck away, you know what I'm saying? And it's not a game. We don't got that luxury sometimes, but like to just do it, bro, like that's you never understand, and you never understand the amount of strength that you have. But for me personally, like just doing that, and then really for me, like I couldn't do it all on my own.
Right.
So like what that looks like for me is God. That was like, bro, like my strength comes from that. My confidence comes from it. And you feel me? Like, and I just seek something more than my own understanding every day.
You ever read The Alchemist?
No.
Okay, it's a really good book. But
Is it something like just being a master of your mind?
It's like a story, but the one of the key elements of the story is when you conspire to do something. Mm-hmm. And you set on that path, the entire universe conspires with you to help you get there. But you have to set yourself on that path. And that's the number one thing. So many people, you already know, it's like, oh, I'm going to move out here. I'm going to do blah, blah. But I can't right now because it's too much money and it just doesn't make sense. But it's like, yeah. So, of course, if you're sitting and you're going to look at it and you're not going to take action, it's gonna seem that way.
Yeah.
But one thing leads to another.
Yeah.
Because you're in the flow of creating what you want. So of course, God's going to put the pieces in front of you.
Yeah.
Now you just have to collect them and use them and figure out the next thing.
For real.
You know?
That's as real as it gets, bro. I don't really feel like I ain't say nothing to that. Like, I'm gonna check out that book though. Just because you said it.
No, I'm sending it to you.
Right,
It's a great book. So past the music, past everything else, what you hoop, right?
Yeah.
I was about to say, you too damn tall.
I ain't gonna lie. All right, so I keep it a full stack. Like I hoop, and I had dreams of being a hoop player at a very young age.
You don't say. Motherfucker came here 6'5".
I'm saying though, like I feel like you say, the universe and like just the path that you just really made for you. Mm-hmm. I had like a situation when it came down to ball that I feel like forced me to like really pay attention and be like, yeah, my nigga, ball's not life for you, and that's okay. Like, long story short, like I was just hoop. I really wanted to be a hooper at a point in time in my life, and I feel like if I would have made that college team, or like it would have probably deterred me from the path that I knew I needed to do for like right now. Right. But like I had to pay attention at an early age. Like I tore my ACL off that shit. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, I mean, it wasn't no bad thing. I bounced back, and I still we can give buckets. It's not an issue. It's not an issue. But I'm just saying, it's not an issue. I'm just saying though, like in reality, like I'll do it for fun, but like I just had to come to terms and realize like ball's not life.
Nah, I feel it.
Like I remember I hooped out here and like just went to a random park and just ran, bro. And the next day I was in the studio and I was sore and I was just mad at myself. Standing there doing takes, like ball is not life, bro. I had to sit down. I don't like sitting down when I record, so I got mad. Like,
that's funny as hell.
What is wrong with you, bro? You are not hooping for pro league. You're not going overseas.
You over there like them LA Fitness niggas. You know the ones who be in there just hooping like, man, real, like this is a finals game. Like, man, come on.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm not doing none of that. No. I'm worth too much.
He said, nope, ball is no longer life.
Nah, never. Nope.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, man. What else do you do?
For fun?
Yeah, for fun.
Man, I'm so lame. I like to cook. I love cooking.
That's
Yeah,
fun.
that's one of my favorite things to do for real. It's like a real form of like therapy. I'll put on a nice song or like nice podcast or a nice just back note or just talk to my peoples while I'm cooking. It's just like I like to cook to like clear my mind.
That's dope.
Like I didn't think so, but I really am coming to terms with the fact that I need to be in nature. Like I'm fake though, not too long.
You know, it's funny. I'm right there with you.
Not
like,
too long.
Yeah, I've never camped or done anything like that.
Oh, okay.
And I just started watching this show. It's called Alone. It's
where they just drop niggas off.
But
You
then
never,
bro.
you
And I'm over here
not
like
that resourceful.
Oh, I'm not either. But seeing that let me know, okay, I don't need to be out here like y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all are tripping.
Yeah.
But I need to know how to do like
I do basic stuff. Like they give them 10 things and they just drop them off in like the middle of Alaska or like some wildlife place and you gotta like fend for yourself.
And for 70 days, they're losing like 40 pounds in 35 days and shit. Like,
but the ones who really about it, you could tell they prepare for this. Like,
well, do you see it when they bow hunt and they're just like,
bro made a real bow and arrow, bro. Like just off the strength. I'm just like, how you even know you could do that? It's time and like, you know, energy of understanding that. But it did put me in a space and be like, nah, bro, worst case scenario, we have an apocalypse. I need to be resourceful.
And that's how
I need to make sure that like, cause I can't pay you if the value of $1 goes to zero, we gotta trade resources. You feel me?
So what
I
you
do
gonna
this for
trade?
you if you do this for me.
Mm-hmm.
If not, you're a liability. G. You can't do nothing for me. Like I can't go for that. I need to be an asset.
No, facts. That's facts, man.
So back to what I was saying, cooking is my shit. Nature and stuff. I do want to catch myself. I'm gonna go on a camping trip again soon. I went on a camping trip not too long ago, but I need to do that again soon to really like.
Where'd you go the first time?
It was in Ohio, bro.
Oh.
Like, yeah, bro. So I was. You get cool with some people out there. Next thing you know, you in a camper or you in a tent, and you just how we get here. Here's where we are. All right, bet.
Oh, so it's really just going with the flow of nature and life all at once.
Nah, see, like I said, to an extent, like I get my dose and I'm done. But like that showed me that I just need my dose.
I get what
you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, nah. A week of this,
right?
Dead.
Yeah. No, that makes complete sense.
I'm super straight.
Certain places, though, I think that's the thing in life. Sometimes you got to just go to places, or experiences, see them. Hey, maybe it's not for me. Maybe it's for me 2 days, 3 days out of the week, but not every day.
I'll be outside out here, and I know when to take my ass aside, these mosquitoes get to jumping on the kid. That's enough.
He said that's enough.
We good.
That's funny as hell.
That's enough. But outside of that, shoot, what else? I'll be tapped in with my family. I talk to them. I like have a lot of family and loved ones, so like they keep me going for I can't lie. Yeah, bro. Might read a book here and there.
What you like to read?
I just finished The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra.
Oh, okay.
That was a pretty good one. But right now I'm reading The Mastery of Self.
The Mastery of Self.
The Mastery of Self.
Okay.
Same dude who wrote The 4 Agreements. Damn.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, my barber, shout out my barber, he gave me that book because we were talking about it one day and he was just like, I got the perfect thing for you. I got the perfect weapon for you. When he said that, I was like, oh. But then I was like, oh. But he was right. It is a weapon for real. Like, right. So outside of that, yeah, bro, I'm simple. I like my shit. How I like my shit. I've been getting into like watching more movies recently and documentaries. I love documentaries from sports to art to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, I think that's the thing. Even I heard you say like podcast and like stuff like that. Bro, it's so. I'm getting to the phase where it's like when I'm decompressing, like I want to learn shit. Like, you know what I mean? I want to listen to something that I know is positive in some capacity. You know what I mean? Or I'm gaining something because, you know, if you're not appreciating, it's like watching a movie. You know, it can be two different experiences. You could be watching something for pure entertainment. You could be watching some shit that's like classic and, filmed incredibly and it's done, same with music, something for entertainment. You could be listening to something that's like, oh, you're like, it's one of the greatest songs of all time.
Yep.
But it's funny how there's, damn, I completely just forgot what I was talking about.
Information, just how you like to be like your mind stimulated on your downtime, essentially. But
yes, there we go.
I think that's why I rock with documentaries a lot, whether it be like art, whether it be, which is something I've been getting into a lot. I went to the Basquiat Museum not too long ago, and I was just, man, that kind of put me in a space like, what was his mind on, bro? Like he really was just going through, going through it, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, just letting shit, he's going through it and not giving a fuck. And
yeah.
I was inspired by that. But like stuff like that is why I watch documentaries, because it's like, for me personally, my thought process in this life that I'm living and what I'm doing, I'm wanting to see it to the highest trajectory and like where it's going. So when I'm doing that, I would like to watch people who was at a high trajectory, or when they were at their peak of something. You feel me? Like I just watched the Beckham documentary on Netflix. Like he was really dealing with a lot, and also how they dealt with it, because it's just great. It's like you're gonna deal with that strife, bro, regardless. Like
it has to come.
He was getting them London tabloids are ruthless, bro. He was catching heat. All because he tripped a nigga in the World Cup. They
took that shit seriously.
Yo,
like, there,
bro,
boy.
he tripped a nigga in the World Cup, and they got the blaming him for the whole reason they lost. Like, they didn't have a whole 90 minutes to make something shake outside of him tripping this one nigga. And you know what I'm saying? But like how he dealt with that adversity of like years of that, and he was in the middle of about to have a baby and just was about to get married, and married a shorty from the Spice Girls. So it was like so much like ridicule that he was catching, but he still showed up. Like he still showed up. And I feel like that was so admiring to me, bro, because it's just like, damn, like he could have easily been like, nah, you feel me? But he was also like groomed for it, like at an early age, like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, bro. Stuff like that I get inspired about. Like,
you know one you got to watch if you haven't, the Black Godfather.
What's that?
It's about Clarence Avant. And he's when I say a list too long, like one of the small things he did was sign Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Yeah. That's like a asterisk in his story.
What's it on?
It's on Netflix.
Okay, bet.
His best friend is Quincy Jones. Oh. Like, yeah, that's what I mean. Different kind of guy, man. And doing things in an era when obviously blacks weren't allowed to do a lot of these things, but he was in the rooms. He was making the moves. In his documentary, Bill Clinton, Obama, and there's one other like crazy figure, but they all speak. And it's just
in the
like,
documentary?
Yes. And it's just like, oh, you got them to show up.
That's how you know it's impact. Like, that's how you know.
Different.
Like, we all have, man, all of our purpose has to do with serving in some type of way. 100%. So even with them being big names, like, they came to acknowledge his service that he put into the world and just like show him love, like, and even just speak about it from, I'm sure he probably didn't know it was, I'm sure, like, you don't know, like, what you do and like the impact that you put into people is really an act of service for real. You don't know how inspiring that could be for people for real. So I feel like that's a part of all of our purpose, bro.
I think that's also where happiness comes from. Like just core happiness, healthy happiness. It comes from doing something. It comes from being needed. It's like, we all need a certain amount of attention. We all need a certain amount of love. We all need, these are all things that are just like, you can't dispute, But if you wake up every day and you know you're doing something and you're putting something in the world that makes other people happy or has an impact on other people or like just service to others, that's fulfilling, and that's purpose. If you wake up every day, you do nothing, not only will the world deem that you don't have much purpose, but what is your purpose? You have to figure that out first before you're worried even about how the world views it.
I'm telling you, bro, some like, come from where we come from, where it's just like not a glitz glamour type of environment. It's just like, think about that like youth leader that was impactful to your life at a young age, or like that teacher that was like, they served and they put something into you by them just doing part of their purpose, and it doesn't have to be as glamorized or glorified. It's just like the celebrity aspect of like what it is out here type shit. Like they're just as impactful for me. Like,
and on a ground level,
man,
before anyone else is telling you that you're something, the only people are your parents. And then by the time you're 6, you're in a classroom. So if that teacher doesn't enrich you or give you love to an extent the same way that your parents do, that can be a terrible ground floor. You know what I mean?
One person I admire for that is like my big brother. Like he's a psychologist, but he's like a school counselor. Like, so he's been doing like counseling for kids for a little minute now, bro. But like, I just went back to the crib and I just watched, like, I pulled up to his school because I love pulling up to his school, like, and they just be like, oh, you Mr. O's little bro, like, y'all are just like, but like, outside of that, bro, I just see the impact that he has on these kids. And I'm like, damn, I wish I had somebody like you when I was, like, you feel me? When I was in school, you feel me, who would even just, like, joke or, like, kick it, but also be like, make sure you turn this in. Make sure you do, like, quit that, like, you playing. You feel me? Like, that is so impactful, bro. And, like, I be affirming him all the time because in them spaces, you don't even know how much they don't get their flowers in the present moment, bro. But for me, when I see him, I be like, bro, you don't even know how important and special you probably are to these people, to these kids every time they see you, bro. I've seen him inner city break down the toughest kids, bro. Damn. And in his office, like, Mr. O, what up? You feel me? Don't rock with nobody, bro. And I'd be like, yo, you raw, bro. You got a real gift to like do that. But like, you know.
And he takes the time to understand them on not just a surface level. And I think that's one of the biggest issues we have is like people don't get to, like we were talking about working. It's like the same idea. It's like when you're working with people, it's just like, oh man, well, let's work, bro. Instantly, let's do this. I got these. It's like, no, like who am I working with? If I get to know you, then it's a whole different relationship.
Yeah, I ain't have a lot of teachers who cared to get to know me at an early stage in my life. So like, I feel like I have to be that for myself, like early, bro. I'll never forget when I realized like, oh, it's got to be me. All right, and like you know, because it was just a constant theme. You know, they showing up getting their check and they out the way, or they just push a little more favoritism in certain other kids who, you know, they don't necessarily like. Might be like the star athlete or some shit like that, some goofy shit. Like, you know what I mean? But like outside of that, it was just, I realized I had to be that for me. Not a lot of kids, especially in this day and age, bro, where like everything just makes them like feel inadequate and less than, like they don't have enough of, you feel me? Like they can't even be that for themselves sometimes. Like, or unless you're put into a healthy environment like your household that like my parents, independence was taught really early, like, just doing my own line. It was cooking for myself and kicking it and fending for myself about 7.
Right.
Like, you feel me? About 6, 7 for real. So like, yeah, bro. That's
damn.
It's deep.
Yeah, nah, I feel it though. That goes back to when you said like learning the conversations to have with yourself. You was having a lot of conversations.
Gotta talk to yourself, bro. Because I spent enough time talking myself crazy.
Yeah.
You're like, you feel me? Being like letting the environment and that like define me, like you're inadequate, like you can't do this. Yeah, you are just like what that teacher said. You know what I'm saying? Like you wasn't gonna make it. I had a couple teachers tell me I was definitely. You feel me? I feel like remember that one teacher that said was gonna be shit. Now look at me. No, I'm dead serious. I definitely had a couple of them situations, bro. And I used to just smile at them like, "You finna be salty." Like, I'm circling the block too.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I have a list. No, I'm for sure circling the block as far as like not even a shit on them, but to just smile in their face.
You know what you do?
What up?
You go to.
You tell me. I'm sure you've been
to all the
through
schools that they work at when things are going great, and then you just donate a lot of money to the schools, and you see them. You see them and you smile at them.
Smiling at them, bro.
And you thank all the other teachers who were cooler than them.
Yeah. I don't even know if they're still there, but if they are, I still want to go.
They're going to hear about it.
I still want to go. They definitely going to hear about it for sure, but it's crazy. That's funny that you said that. I was just talking to my man about that.
The greatest thing too is the higher you go up, man. My goal, one of my personal goals is to be at a point where I'm so happy with my life. I just forget that shit happened. You know how some things happen in life and then just later you're like, oh, damn, someone brings it up and you're like, I ain't thought about that in years. That's how I want everybody who didn't believe to be.
I feel you. I'm gonna say that, but I'm a for sure. It's for sure.
I'm gonna say that because that makes sense, but nah.
I never actually forgot. If you want me to keep it a full stack, it's cool. I'm at peace. I don't hate you. It's no love lost. I wish you the best. Did I forget? No.
Yeah.
Do I forgive you? For sure. You feel me?
And you used it as fuel, positive fuel.
That's what it. Nah. Yeah. I don't know. I'm crazy.
I know that's how I am. Even when you were talking about how different people take motivation.
Yeah.
So with me, I'm one of those people. It's like, oh, you tell me I can't do it.
Me?
Ha. Watch me. Watch me.
I'll probably let you chop it up I'll let you get your shit off.
No, go.
No, I'm not even. I'm talking. Oh, you supposed talking to me?
Yeah.
Get your shit off, G. You clearly either projecting or you just really don't see it in me.
Right.
But I be seeing it. My mama saw it, and that's really all that's important.
Right.
Christina was like, "You gonna be something?" I'll be like, "I bet."
And who know you better than?
You know what I mean? What can y'all really tell me?
I don't know you niggas.
Like, what? But all right, you got it.
Nah, facts.
But nah.
But man, I'm really excited. Is the album coming or what's the plan?
We coming.
What you working on
I'm gonna give y'all an EP for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's definitely coming. But right now, the biggest thing I'm excited about is my next single that I'm about to release. I performed at school night. It was called "Pray for Me."
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm really excited. I actually wrote that in Chicago. My first time in Chicago.
Oh shit.
Nice. The first time threw me off, bro. I was just driving to the studio.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was going to the studio, I saw the moving truck of this. I saw the moving truck of this moving company that I used to work for in Ohio. As I was going to the studio, and it messed me up, bro. I was just like, nah, bro. What are the odds of that? I don't know. I pay attention to signs and wonders. You feel me? And so I saw that, and I was just talking about them times that I had to really grind when I was working at that moving company. I was just working, living off tips, really grinding super heavy, trying to save up for a certain amount, a certain goal, and working odd jobs, all types of terrible conditions, you know what I'm saying? But still going to the studio, and still working on my craft, still recording, getting off, you feel me? All types, and then having to fight my parents because they all me, you feel me? Why are you out this late, bro? I'm doing my best.
I'm working.
Gee, I'm gonna make this shit make sense, Post. I promise. You're not working hard enough. All right, you got it. But nah, that, and I was just man, only God seeing all that I had to go through and how hard I had to believe in them times that I was really chugging away, bro. It was funny. They did them I don't know, on Instagram, people been where were you in 2017?
Right.
You feel me? And that was when I was working there. And I remember I had did my first headline show with just my name and stuff.
Yeah.
At a venue. And I'll never forget, I bought out all the tickets. And with my tip money, I bought out all the tickets, and then I tried to sell them half off at the door and just tweeted yo, I'm selling my tickets half off. Meet me at the door. You could have them. Even if you got them at this present moment, I just want you to come see me. Nobody came, bro. And I have a picture of that show, and it was 9 people in the crowd. And it pushed me. I don't know, bro. It did something to me. Just seeing that last week, it just did something to me, bro. But yeah, no, I'm saying that to say, God only saw, you feel me? In that picture, I was thinking about, he was on stage. He still went on stage. I just did a 12-hour shift that day, the day before. Terrible, one of the worst conditions. And still went on stage that Sunday after going to church, playing 4 o'clock, was rushing to get everything situated. Never made a profit off a show in my city, bro. Never. I'm always busting it down with whoever's playing with me. I always have instrumentalists and stuff. But again, only God saw that. Can't make that up. Man. Yeah, bro.
Well, shit, man. You put in the work.
Amen.
You put in the sacrifices. So.
Amen.
I'm extremely happy to see what happens next, man. Thanks for coming,
bro.
Chopping it up.
Man, thank you for having me. Thank you for reaching out, bro. I'm really glad your energy was hella infectious that night when I met you. You was just bro.
Yo. No, because I was just I literally, I looked at my homie Ty and I was like, who the fuck is that? I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm very big fan, man. And
thank you.
Even cooler in person. So
love, bro. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for having me, bro.
Of course, man.
Let's do this again sometime, bro.
You hit me up.
All right, say less, bro. You gonna see me around.
Peace.
Peace.